Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. All right. Well, the unexpected, which in this market should be the expected, happened. The bull sandwich. It's a crazy pattern but it's a powerful one. And it was one of the scenarios to play out. And I said it kind of, I don't know, on the cuff, so to speak, because it seemed less probable why I thought that anyway. But, you know, those and the higher powers up there, led by Sleepy Joe, decided to throw a curveball at the markets with some retarded tax thing, and down came the market. And so now we have this relatively wide range red bar, big green bar, power bar. I mean, we reviewed this yesterday morning where it had bullish breadth along with it, which was a positive. And we spoke about, well, this is a kind of pattern that should be able to push up through the highs. It might make an M top. And I thought less likely to form a bull sandwich. And we define a bull sandwich by wide range bars, with the green bar in the middle being the bulls getting ready to be eaten for lunch by the bears. So here we are, looking to see if this will actually follow through. And markets are just kind of hanging down at the lows here. And what I marked out here on the 15-minute charts was the day before the bull green bar, and how it had come down and formed a pivot, retested the pivot, made a new low, below that pivot low, and came down to the other one. So it was tested 3 times. And then, at the end of the day, there was that rally. And then yesterday, markets gapped lower just for good measure. And, this bottoming pattern, which certainly could have resulted in a move to the downside in 2020 hindsight, it obviously didn't. And buyers stepped up and created that big green bar. And so yesterday, markets, opened a little lower, no big deal. This is kind of more normal. Is that okay? You've got an end of day run. They're buying into the close, gaps down onto support. And this is red just because of where I brought this down to for resistance today. But anyway, gaps down into support, and buyers step up and, they push it higher, but nothing like this. It's more like, carrying 300 pounds on your back walking uphill. It's just a slow grind. And then the news comes out and, cutting right through this price support like it's not there. And so, and down through into the void, and then it stops at support. And so we get the little bounce, and that's it. Higher low, kind of just hanging here, I guess. I would suspect longs must be stunned at this point. Like, what the hell is that moron doing up there? Who pulled his strings to do this garbage at this point in time? And so now you've got traders that are stuck. What are they going to do? They're faced with this potential debacle. And besides everything else that is a debacle that's going on there, and the shenanigans being played. So this level right here, right, it's around 25-ish, right? It's 25 to 30 to be more exact, somewhere right in here. If this just jiggles around here and breaks, it should make a fast move down to 4,100. And that's a significant level, not just for the number, right? Because you think, well, 4,000, but 4,000 will be. But, there's a big open interest of options at this level. And then below that is down to here. So a gamma flip. Someone needs to create a dictionary of this terminology. McGraw, a gamma flip. So I look at this without thinking open interest of options that are accumulated there, which is going to create some havoc with those open positions as to what do I do now, right? And so who's going to blink? So at that point, if this doesn't flip right back up, I think it's going to be heading down here because this would be the obvious next level. And 40.50 to 40.60-ish, and it's got the support in here. It's a relatively wide area. So how to trade this today? Well, if we should get some kind of move up, and you can see it's green here so far. Futures are green except for the YM. And if they rally up toward 41.50, look to do like a 41.70, 75 spread, which has some juice now, but maybe if it rallies, you get a bit more. And then on the downside, if it starts to break, I think you have to wait to see where it settles and how far and how fast it drops, if that should take place. So right now it's just real quiet, and who's going to blink? I'll be interested. Okay, where does this end up, the weekly chart and all that? But showing you the difference here between all of the accumulation that occurred to support the making of that green bar versus the tentative, hey, I'll buy the climactic drop into support, but I'm not so confident now. Totally makes sense giving back 100% of that green bar. Okay. Oh, McGraw's sharing some interesting stuff. He's our resident, let's say, novice student, McGraw. You know enough not to be a newbie, but a journalism, about a journalist. So I don't know, whatever. We'll find out more about that. So just as a point of interest, through Paul's help, what we finally call Trader McGraw, he put Dan and I together with the guys at Spot Gamma. We had a talk last night about doing a webinar together, and I think it's going to be amazing. Two totally different approaches to the market, guys that really don't know how to look at charts. They know what a chart is, but their approach is one in which utilizes spot gamma, they call it, and open interest in what market makers are doing. And I think it's going to be something that is really going to be something powerful, that we can combine that type of information together. And so we're looking forward to that, and we'll make you more aware of as it, get a date and so on and so forth. All right. So where are the futures here? Right at the bottom of the range. You can see those are the SSO. Click the wrong one. It's the same stuff everywhere pretty much. And so who knows, maybe today just goes out as, Christmas tree, Christmas tree pattern, red, green, red, green, red, green. Right? We'll see. But right now, they're just kind of hanging there, defending the front line. We'll see what happens. YM kind of just hanging down there as well. Red, green, red. Let's see what it is. Right. He's predicting the Christmas tree, which would mean some kind of a green day where they hold it. Kind of a frog in a blender day, maybe. Those of you that don't know what the frog in the blender day means is be careful that you don't, at the end of the day, say, look around and go, where the hell did my left arm go? And my right toes? Damn, all those trades killed me. So you've been warned. But okay, so technically speaking, wide range bar down, it can't even get off its butt to go halfway up. That's bearish, you know. So factory work, mark off the middle area. It's got pivots here, 2 pivots. So if it can get through here, it does open up the door to some type of a rally up into the void. You can see there's just nothing there. So, bears have been defending this line, and bulls have been on the other side of it, and it's gotten tight. And so now got higher low pivots. So we would read that as, buyers increasing their demand and saying, hey, we're bringing up, more of the front line, and let's see who gets killed trading in this little tight range here. And can they push it up above this area to get it moving, or does it get pushed down below? So, put your hand in your pocket, push the mouse to the side first thing this morning, and watch what goes on for a little while. All right. Russell posing pivots here as well, and kind of in the middle of the range. Topping tail yesterday, just a mess, downside shakeout, topping tails. This is, to be a trader here, you got to be like one of those guys that's getting punched in the face, right? And I forget what that movie was. Oh no, it's the guy, some gangster movie, right? The guy, and this woman is pissed as hell, and she shoots him. He's in the elevator, and she shoots him. Can I have another, ma'am? And she shoots him again. Can I have another? These trading this thing. It's like, I'm not going down for the count. Can I have another? Anyway, so far, look at these moving averages. It's just a sign of stay away. When you see the moving averages, the 20 and 50 simple moving averages intersecting the middle of prices and prices whipping back and forth through them, don't trade it from this time frame. That's vicious. And whatever, gold, oil pulled back. Got a market that's really kind of running in place here. Gold doing its thing, grinding up, came down here for whatever reason. Well, look to the left, of course. It's coming up into some resistance. And silver kind of holding its own there. So some funds definitely finding their way into gold and silver and Bitcoin. Money coming out. And so here, this may be a new intermarket relationship that is taking hold here in Bitcoin and those metals. That's a pretty sharp drop there in a short amount of time. And our transports, holding up for the moment. Have your alerts, right? However you do it, set an alert down at the pivot low and up above here, and let's see what unfolds. Let's take a look here. Yeah, look, profit taking for sure, or it's up enough. Yes, the dollar's coming in a little bit, but for another day. Well, yours, Dan.
Brian, good morning. Yeah, the news was claiming that some of the Bitcoin sell-off was because of the tax man, Biden. But yeah, it was funny. The Kramer was on there. It's like, what is this, amateur hour? He says Biden just doesn't think that taxes are going to affect reality in the market and so forth. But yesterday afternoon, after the drop played out, exactly what we predicted. Nice bounce off support to the left. Got our higher low. That was the low for the day. And I said over and over again, got to see what's going to happen today. If we can decisively get over these levels this morning, then I think the low is in for the day again. And if we just continue to go sideways here, I think 30-minute low, um, shorting under the week's low here, I think we got a price void and we're going to get our wish at least to the 20. All right, so opens, our only problem child is square here. It was such a beautiful setup yesterday, and thanks to Biden, in that afternoon sell-off, and we said we always like trading with the wind at our back, swimming with the current, because when even the Wall Street favorites, when they start hitting the bid, what's the saying? They throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what I feel here. And it's also gapping down a little bit on the Bitcoin story, because some of those stocks are now also known as Bitcoin stocks. VIX here, one of you asked what the heck happened with it. Well, they did a 4-for-1 reverse split. That's what happened to it. And it was so funny, like just yesterday, we were looking at UVXY, see here, under $5. And I made that exact comment. I said, oh, this is ready for another reverse split soon. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it at the same time of this one. Makes no sense to me. All right, let's look at opens here. Tan I still have on my list. Bottoming pattern, had a nice gap up. Pre-market. So tan gapping up here over yesterday's high. So that looks great. That looks good. We'll start off maybe put spread and then 30-minute high, possible directional. We have a Tesla put spread that expires today, the 700. So we have $18 of cushions, and we just need that melting ice cube for 6.5 hours. The FCX. No pattern. I mean, it is, well, let me rephrase that. It is a buy setup. It's a buy setup at the gap fill, but it's just gap and resistance here. It's not quality. It had a deeper tracement. The futures are iffy. It's just, I'm not pressing the envelope here. KKR uptrend, railroad track over yesterday's high is fine. Yeah, Kahilian asking about Tesla. Yeah. We're in the put spread, as I said. It's a downtrend 15-minute chart. But I don't see any new trades on it. All right, Max here. I saw gapping up. Bottoming pattern, total bottoming pattern. I wouldn't touch it, but let's keep an eye on a 30-minute high. YSG, bottoming pattern also. Look at the volume. We aren't big volume people, but the general rule is we like volume on igniting moves and ending moves, because that's showing a lot of shares changing hands there, and the stock, the message of the candles are more pronounced. So that was a good volume bar. It's gapping up here. Not crazy about a swing trade, but that could definitely maybe be a day trade. Snow, another bottoming pattern. Let's wouldn't touch it as a stock, but if it can get over this WRB right here, we'll consider it put spread. McGraw BX beat. Yeah, they beat yesterday. KKR. Yeah, it's fine. Uptrend, you can buy over the high. Snap, earnings. So now I was telling McGraw, now it's a nice range bound. So let's keep an eye on Snap for maybe a condor. Put it in a window, KMB. This sector was getting some nice bids here the other day. It's kind of the security trade, but now it's getting whacked on earnings. Wow, that's a big ugly gap. down here to 50. So now that became an upside shakeout. This is garbage. I'm just going to delete you. Intel. That was an upside shakeout. I mean, there's unfortunately been so many compelling patterns here this week that have just negated, and that's one way the market is telling you things are changing. Um, that was a bullish breakout on Intel on that green bar, and then the very next bar was a 180 upside shakeout, and that's ugly now. Look, it's all the way down here to $60, but there's still no pattern. I have no idea what to do with the USX. That might go all the way to the 200. Nothing to do with it now. Charlie Echo. I can't tell where it's gapping. CSL to extended, no pattern. QDEL. I remember mentioning this as a short. I forget, maybe right here, because I said it was bearish, daily, weekly, monthly. It had earnings though, but getting whacked to 106. Look at that. You know something's whacked when you gotta go to a weekly chart. Yeah, you know that. Wow. We'll come back to it. Run UEC. Daily buy stop 270. No, it's what we call a minor 1, 2, 3. We like the green bars to be wider, like this one over here qualifies for a wide one, but you got no price avoidance. Look to the left, you got all those overlapping bars, so that's not a quality one. RF gapping down here, so that's a gap breakdown. I don't like the way it trades. It almost trades like an ADR, but it's not. It's regional financial. All right, here's a bullish. So this is a 1, 2, 3, Ron. Compare the two. So this is a wide range bar, inside bar that stays in the upper third. We prefer it to be red because then it's more of a little shock pattern. And my target would be these overlapping bars over here. So this one has a price avoid. But the problem is it's a big gap up. But McGraw put spread idea, 30-minute high. I posted this one as so here's a bear 1, 2, 3 run. So the opposite, wide range bar that closed new lows, green bar. Now it's not only a 1, 2, 3, but it's also a bull sandwich. So that's why I like this one. Under the lows here, it had earnings and not much volume, so yeah, we don't know the truth right yet. FE, no pattern, opening flat, boom. Possible breakdown. Breakdown daily, weekly, that's worth watching. MAT, gapping up, gap breakout. That's a watch on a pullback. SKX, big gap. Wow, remember we were making fun of these stupid plastic sneakers, flippers, whatever you call them. It's a big gap. I don't know what to do with it though. SIAM, I see one print up here, 1330, but I don't trust, unless I see a lot of liquid prints, I don't trust it. But we'll come back to old SIAM, people drinking beer, I guess. BJRI. Okay, that's worth watching. I see it gapping up to 62. And it trades kind of wide and whippy, but 30-minute high, that's an idea. I can't tell where you're gapping. There's no pre-market trades, but if it can break out, it looks fine. It's back to it. Gapping down. So this is a gap breakdown over here. Maybe 30-minute low on day trade. American Express. So this is the biggest drain on the Dow today. It's getting whacked. 141, so it's gapping under this green bar, so that's a shock pattern. McGraw, that could be an out of the money call spread. I'll put that in this little window. Got tan on the other computer. Oh, Crocs was a plastic shoe. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe. You are right. All right, coin, going down with Bitcoin. Look at this thing. You all remember I was bearish on this. I tell the story. There was just so much bullish sentiment going into that thing, into that IPO. It is optionable. We'll keep an eye on it. It's people like it, so it should set up one of these days. This is Path, a new IPO that is the robotic thing, but too extended. This had a nice gap breakout yesterday, and this is a beautiful 15-minute chart. So day trade, maybe 10-minute high. Wow, tick is over 1,000. All right, Qs have some strength. No pattern though on the daily whatsoever, but the fact